Hello, my name is Zebulon Brockway. I was born in Lyme, Connecticut in 1827. At the age of 21, I took my first job in a prison in Westerfield, Connecticut. I was age 21. I started out as a guard. Now, I didn't really enjoy being a guard, so I took a job in the commandant's office. Within 2 years, I was the assistant commandant. I later took a job in Albany, New York, as commandant of the prison. I moved to Rochester, New York, where I was also commandant in the prison. Now, having been in the prison system for about 10 years, I started to notice the same faces coming in and out of prison. We were punishing people, but not really rehabilitating them. So I devised a point system, whereas good behavior was rewarded and bad behavior was, of course, punished. Now, news of my work reached Michigan. Now, the state legislature in Michigan was interested in a parole program or early release. Well, this sparked my interest. So I took a job in Detroit, where I was the commandant of the prison in Detroit. Many of the prisoners exhibiting good behavior got work release programs. I think the guards called them trustees, yes. Now, they would work during the day, and at night we would have Bible study classes. I spoke numerous times with judges, prosecutors, state legislature people, and what I was trying to do was reward these good prisoners with an early release. Well, much to my dismay, it was voted down. Now, by this time, I had been in the prison system about 25 years. Now, what was going on in upstate New York really sparked my interest. In 1876, New York was coming up with what they called a reformatory. Well, it was still a prison, all right, but this particular reformatory was in Elmira. Now, they had just first-time offenders, all aged 16 to 30. No old hardened criminals, so to speak, so this was just what I needed. I implemented my points program. The prisoners would work doing manual labor, working on the farm, things like that. Then we had Bible study and, of course, educational programs. Now, about that time, Mark Twain, of course, or as I like to call him, Uncle Sam, he was going broke. He invested his life savings, as many of you know, in an automatic print machine or print typing. He could explain it a lot better than I can, but his publisher had gone broke, so he was no longer receiving his checks, so to speak. And he and his wife lived on this quarry farm, which I was invited to many times. And Sam and I, both being outsiders from the Elmira area, we seemed to have a special bond. Well, it was determined that since he was about to lose everything, that he go on a world tour where he could, explain his wisdom and impart his wit on people and a little bit of his humor, and some of it was pretty sarcastic, but some of the people didn't enjoy it. But since I was the warden of the prison and I was rewarding good behavior to the prisoners, before he went on any of these world tours, he would come up and tell his story or do his monologue, so to speak, at the Elmira Reformatory. So he went on several world tours, but every one began at the Elmira Reformatory. Now, I finished out my career with over 50 years in the prison service. I retired and was somehow talked into being mayor of Elmira for about 5 years. My memoirs were published, and what do you know? It was called 50 Years of Prison Service. I died in 1920 at the age of 93. I lived a good, long, successful life. And I'd like to think that maybe I didn't help every soul that I touched, but many of the prisoners that I had contact with were released, got out and lived fairly productive lives. Many of the ideas that I had are now in use today. So I'd like to think that my father has many rooms in his house, and I'll be joined by many of you there soon, or not too soon, someday. Thank you.